Hello. So we had this training at work today, and it was talking about restorative practices, which honestly boils down to very similar stuff that I do in my life coaching. Just different, more like technical terminology than we use in the life coaching, but it was very, very similar. And it made me realize that it's amazing how emotionally unintelligent most of us are. And then it made me think, well, this is definitely something that will be in my curriculum in my school, is teaching emotional intelligence, teaching these skills to be more aware of ourselves. And if we're more aware of ourselves and our emotional responses to things, then everything and everyone around us changes. Because we show up differently for ourselves, we show up differently to others, and it really reflects very quickly in your life around you. So, there was one quote he said, and I was just like face palm, like, how is it that we need to still say this to grown adults? And this is talking to a room full of teachers at a school where we have really high needs, high risk kids. So if anyone is going to be emotionally aware and know these things, it's going to be our staff. And yet he still felt the need to say it. And it was shocking to me, just because we don't really do a good job of talking about emotional awareness in our culture. And so I thought, wow, pretty big awareness is happening there. And I'm making me even more or even happier with the training that I've done to do life coaching and the work I do with people, because I think it is all about emotional awareness, really. So what he said was, for basically, for being good at this restorative practices, you have to treat people as if they are people. Let that sink in. Treat people as if they're people. And he needed to tell us this. So, yeah. and it's amazing because, so like he mentioned, he said, so many people treat people as like a way to get ahead, or a block, like in the way, you're in my way. Or there was one other one, but it was similar, kind of thing, like an obstacle, right? So, it was meaningful to me, which made me realize that I want to put this curriculum together both for the school where I work now. I'm actually going to talk to my boss about writing a class to teach self-awareness and to start getting these kids in some level of emotional awareness, because so many of them are like, just have had nothing in this regard from their families, and they're growing up. So it would be really helpful for them, but also for the students who will be at my future school, because it's just so imperative that we have more emotionally aware adults. And the more aware we are all as adults, the more it spreads to those around us who may not be aware, but then we model for them. And so the more people who are feeling, who can look inwardly and say, this is my mindset. This is my mindset that is causing this or that or the other thing, or my implicit bias, things like that. They all kind of go together. Then big changes will happen. So be looking for that. That's another thing on my checklist to do, is to create some curriculum for awareness and mindset practices. But I'm doing it all the time. I just have to get it into like a written form so that I can pass it as curriculum for both my school now and my future school. So I look forward to this project and seeing what I come up with. So talk soon.